Okay, master and the student. To become the perfect master, you must first become the perfect student. When you become the perfect student, you will become the perfect master. When the student is ready, the master will appear. When the student is truly ready, the master will disappear. So we all need a master, a teacher, a guru, a sensei, someone who's going to give us some form of spiritual wisdom, a dharma, a righteous way of living, in accordance with the natural universal laws. The highest truths are best sought from a spiritual man, not from a mountain, not from a book, not from an idol, but from a man. Why? Because we can receive information from them, not just with our ears and eyes, but with our whole being. True wisdom is assimilated with our atoms, with our whole being, not just with our eyes and ears. It's all assimilated by your 72 trillion cells, which make up the body. The more you realize your unity with spirit, the less matter will have a hold on you, or an influence even, the less dominated you are. But the mind and body must acknowledge the inescapable laws of spirituality. False prophets and idols have come about. False prophets, all they've brought is misinformation, disinformation, and superstition. And an idol for me also being that which you buy, which you literally idolize, which you crave, which you think about all the time, that which you're going to bow down to. So for me, this also includes, I would put drink and certain drugs in that bracket as well. Certain drinks and certain drugs, because some of these things have an entity within themselves, whether we know it or not. So again, man shall be judged by his deeds, by his actions, not by his religion, not by his sect, not by his cult, not by his gender, not by any of them things, by his deeds. So at this moment in time, we're in the Piscean age. We're ending the Piscean age. It's very nearly gone. Piscean age, I would translate into Guljug, the Dark Ages. And we're moving into the Aquarius age, which is the Satyajug, sorry, the age of light. In the age of light, everything gets illuminated. But at this moment in time, in the Piscean age, money, reputation, and ego, they reign supreme. Money, people are starting to collect and hoard money, get greedy with money. Once upon a time, we had millionaires. We now have billionaires. Just to put that into perspective, which helps me, 1 million seconds is around 12 days. 1 billion seconds is 30 years. So you can appreciate the difference between 12 days and 30 years. Millionaires and billionaires. We now have entered an era where we have billionaires. We have reputations, which will give you a false sense of security. It gives rise to pride, and pride is many men's downfalls. Also, ego. The ego reigns supreme. Ego gives rise to anger, fear, and ignorance. While the right teacher, when you find the right teacher, you will love that teacher. You will obey that teacher. And that teacher will make you serve and excel. That's the way it works. And then what will that teacher know? Right, I need to change this person's mind. How do you change a person's mind? You change their, you give them a mantra. You give them something. You give them some type of affirmation that they can repeat constantly, to keep them in remembrance of that which is what they're trying to achieve. For example, we jap. Jap is continuous chanting, but it's done in a consciously way, so you awaken the mantra. You don't just repeat it, you awaken the mantra. And we get these mantras from Nam. Nam, what is Nam? Nam is vibration, frequency, and energy. It's the primal light force, which is a part of this multi-dimensional universe. To understand this primal light force, these vibrations, these energies and these frequencies, you need someone who can decode them, who can read them, who can understand them. And for that, we call that man a Bar Brahm. Bar Brahm, someone who can decode, vibrate the frequencies, the energies, who understands about the unifying field. So someone in tune with the universe will be able to give you the information, which is pulling it out from the universe, which is Nam. The one light which came down, the Sadguru came down and he gave us the Nam. In 1469, a man called Nanak was born. And around the age of 36, he became fully enlightened. And when he became enlightened, it was a Sadguru. It was a Sadguru's light. It was a Sadguru himself who sat within Nanak. So Nanak became Guru Nanak. But everywhere Guru Nanak went, everyone tried to claim him. He became Lama Nanak, Vali Nanak, Avdut Nanak, Baba Nanak. There's everyone who wanted Nanak. But Nanak was a Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru meaning he wasn't for India, he wasn't for the Punjabis, he wasn't for the Sikhs, he was for everyone across the globe. He was a universal teacher and he came with universal information, the Nam. So he was Ades, he was the one, he was a true teacher. The Sadguru is Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Head be such, Nanak Husi be such, Ad Sach, it was true in the beginning. Jugad Sach, it's true throughout the whole ages. Head be such is true in this very moment. The way you vibrate, it will bring you straight in to the frequency, to the vibrational field. Head be such. Nanak Husi be such. He's going to be true now and forevermore. What he's telling you is not going to change. It's infinite. It's eternal. So Nanak became Guru Nanak at around the age of 36, when the Sadguru came and blessed us with his presence. And not only did he bless us with his presence with Nanak, but he stayed with us for over 200 years to make sure the message he came down with would stick and it would stay. It takes a long time to change people's traditions and cultures and superstition. All these things were set in stone. Things were very rigid back in the days. So you needed time and patience in order to enlighten people, to show people the true way, the right way, the Sadguru's way. So one thing Guru Nanak did make clear is the ego is the disease, but within it, it's also the cure. Ego gives rise to a lot of mental thoughts and conflicts and everything else. And Guru Nanak did make clear the biggest disease of the future will be mental disease. This dis-ease will be in the mind and it will stem from the mind. And then this ease moves from the mind into the body. So mental illness, it does arise when love is neglect. Mental illness arises when love is neglect. Loneliness kills more people than obesity and alcohol. So these are certain statistics and which will all relate to our mental and well-being in general, which everyone's being affected by right at this moment, which is why I do want to make some more videos about what we can do, what mantras we can use, what prayers we can do, how we can physically move and chant and do whatever we need to do in order to move us from the dark into the light. What is a guru? A guru is one who takes you from darkness into the light. He illuminates everything. Everything becomes uncovered. So on that note, find yourself a teacher, find yourself a guru, find yourself a messiah, find yourself someone, whether it's Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, irrelevant. Find someone who knows how to switch things on. This is not about religion. This is about becoming the human being. Human being. Are we a human? Are we a human doing, or are we a human being? We're always doing. There's always this big need to be productive and doing. No, we only need to be a human being. So why don't we all try being human beings? And as I said on that note, find yourself a teacher. So.